everything's just so, blah. You need to pull yourself out of a creative funk? Let me show you how.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live with the hardcore style.
Our featured wine for the week is Kim Crawford Rosé. And what pairs well with rosé? Everything. Everything from shrimp to steak to fruits, breads and cheeses. Because rosé is in between the whites and the reds, you can pair rosé with just about anything and it's going to be delectably yummy. So go ahead and get you some Kim Crawford Rosé and tell them Right with Carla sent ya. So today we're going to talk about how you can pull yourself out of a creative funk. There are few things worse than really wanting to get something done and just falling flat. Like, not the project falling flat, but your creative juices, they aren't flowing. Nothing is falling from the sky like fresh manna from heaven. Nothing is growing up out of the grass like tulips or gardenias in the springtime. It's just nothing is happening. You just don't know where to go, what to do. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can pull yourself out of a creative funk. 1, set a tight deadline. Now, I use the word tight loosely because I am a procrastinator. I admit it. Hello, my name is Carla DuPont and I'm a procrastinator. The first step is admitting it. So setting a tight deadline on myself usually doesn't work because if I see a tight deadline, I'm going to resist it. But if I see a deadline, then I'll say, okay, this is doable. This is something I can aspire to. It's just like, what is it? Aiming for the moon and you land on the stars. It's that kind of thing, right? So you say, hey, I want my book to be done by June 1st. Well, this is March 3rd. In all honesty, you could write and publish a book by June 1st if you started even tomorrow. But if you don't have a deadline and you're just like, oh, I just want to write this book. Okay, well, what's your time frame? No time frame. I just want to write it. Then your writing is going to be blah because it's not really motivated. And the book will probably not get done. Then you'll be calling me in 5 years. Like, Carla, I've been watching you on Instagram or Facebook for so long, and I've been wanting to write this book. I started, but I don't know what happened. When you don't have a deadline to work toward, you're probably not going to work toward anything. So when you set a deadline, it helps to hold you accountable because no matter what, that day is going to come, whether your book is finished or not. So you might as well get to writing. Number 2, take advantage of time pockets. Now, time pockets are especially tricky if you have a 9-to-5 job. But that also gives you time during your commute to write. How can I write and drive? Well, think about a topic that you want to write about. Use in your phone, go to the notepad, the dictation tool, the little microphone, press that down and talk. Now, it'll only let you talk for like a minute or 2 before it stops, but you press it again and you keep talking. By the time you get to work, you've written a whole section in your book. You can email it to yourself with the subject called Mask Off. Topic 1, firefighter school. Then the next day, mask off. Topic 2, how to act at a car accident scene. No matter what it is that you want to write about, you can dictate it to yourself, taking advantage of that time pocket. Same thing if you have children who are in sports or ballet. Well, I guess ballet is a sport. Who are in sports or extracurriculars. When they're at practice and you're sitting there idling, doing nothing, that is a time pocket you can take advantage of. Most practices aren't going to be shorter than 45 minutes. So you have a good solid 45 minutes to an hour. I can't tell you how many times I have done live videos at Queen's soccer practice last spring, or just planning out what the videos were going to be. Today I did a live video waiting on Chase to get out of basketball practice. I just sat in the car and Cameron was right next to me acting a fool, jumping all in the video, so I made her a part of it. But taking advantage of those time pockets, you are stealing 30 to 45 minutes of your life back to yourself in a meaningful way that will be helpful to you and helpful to your momentum going forward. 3, just look around. Because when the universe gives you something, when God gives you something, a message that you need to tell, a story that you should be delivering, and you're not doing it, just look around. Look around for inspiration. If you're feeling just stuck and stagnant, you see someone who's doing something similar to what you had in mind, that'll usually light a fire up under your butt. I walked into a bookstore, and I have had this book in my head literally for like 3 years. And there was a book signing. The lady's book was almost verbatim the title of my book. And when I tell y'all, this book is already written. It's in my notes. I have a part 1 and a part 2. I've typed it up, emailed it to myself, saved it on the computer, and it's just sitting there. But when I walked in and I saw her with the title, I was like, oh my gosh. I instantly felt some kind of way. I instantly felt like, oh my gosh, I have to get myself in gear. Not like, dang, she beat me to it, now I can't do it. I introduce myself and I say, it's so funny. I think this is God's way of just telling me that I'm not moving fast enough. I have a book with almost the exact same title. And I told her about it and she said, oh, honey, take it. Go right ahead. Because even though our titles are similar, our messages are not. And she told me her message and I thought, okay, I see you, Queen. Big ups. So I purchased her book to support a self-published author. But when you look around, you will find motivation. You'll find things that remind you of why you wanted to write this book in the first place. And hopefully they'll rejuvenate those creative juices to get you flowing. 4, draw on experiences that you've had or memories that you've had of succeeding, things or times when you really wanted to do something and you were able to bring it to fruition. Draw on those experiences. When I have people who succeed or they do something in a really, really big way, I tell them, bottle this feeling up. Even if it's one of my author coaching clients and they say, oh my gosh, Carla, I wrote 3 chapters today. I feel so accomplished. Great. Bottle this feeling up. You see how that feels? Bottle it up and remember it. Or I'll tell them, write a note to yourself about how you did today. And when you need motivation, go back and look at that note. You can read it. It takes you back to that place mentally, physically, emotionally where you were. When you draw on those powerful experiences, you're able to almost relive them in such a way that they motivate you to move forward. So don't stop. Use those motivators to get you back in gear. You have the creativity. You just need to find it. Turn that black and white back into color. 5, take a break. Now, you might be saying, well, I'm kind of taking a break because I'm not writing anything. I don't have any creativity in me. But I mean, take a total, complete break. Like, don't even think about it. Anytime that book comes into your mind, you just push that thing right on out. Nope, I'm not thinking that. Nope, I don't want to plan. I don't want to brainstorm. I don't want to outline. I don't want to write anything. Nope, not even one sentence. Take a break from it. That way, when you come back to it, you're more refreshed. You're starting anew and you pick up where you left off. So I would say give yourself, depending on your timeline, your deadline, I'll give yourself maybe a week, 2, maybe even a month. But just don't think about it. Let whatever book thoughts leave your brain just as quickly as they come. When you start back, you'll be writing fresh. Or you can just start something new. But we'll talk about that another time. Happy writing.